Benefits podcast with our host, Tom Quigley from ClaimLinx. How are you, Tom? And it's a Monday, right? And you don't have you don't have a bad case the Mondays.
Yeah, I just don't golfing if I get too bored or upset that it's Monday.
Yeah. Okay. So our topic today is beyond basic coverage, how supplemental insurance elevates employee benefits. And first question I have for you is, why is supplemental insurance essential even if a company already provides standard health coverage?
For a lot of companies, they have their employees paying so much out of pocket, your health plans are awful because of the rates going up. Their solution was raise the deductibles, the employees pay more and more. So what supplemental insurance does is there's programs that can cover hospitalizations, surgeries, accidents, dental, vision, critical illnesses, where they supplemental carrier pays you and you use your money for employers and their costs is much less than health insurance.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see specifically enough that other expenses eat up healthcare. In a lot of ways, they're paying a lot for this and they're not benefiting at all.
But it's the man and the lady in the mirror. Almost the company is letting the employers down because there's really no excuse why they aren't offering better benefits.
What specific types of health scenarios or procedures typically trigger the need for supplemental coverage?
The biggest one to me is critical illness or cancer policies. So if something happens to you and you're diagnosed with cancer, and say you want to go to Germany or some other country that has new radical treatments, there's your money that you get for that because they're paying based off of diseases and what's being done, and they cover experimental treatment.
Really, that's an interesting thing. How do you at ClaimLinx are able to develop that for a company?
What I like doing is give each employee a benefit bank. So as an employer, I give each one of my employees $40. They can buy whatever supplemental plan they want to buy.
And those are available at ClaimLinx, those supplemental plans?
Oh yeah, we have plenty of vendors that have those plans. It's the other thing is just they want more than 40 they're paid for, and most of the time these products are pre-tax. So you're lowering the employer's payroll. So my question always to the HR department is, why are you preventing your employees from buying supplemental insurance? Makes zero sense not to allow them to do it because it helps pay less in taxes for the owner, and the employees receive tax free because they're getting better underwriting on these plans. Some are guaranteed issued because of the company they work for and get generous underwriting terms.
Can you explain exactly what ancillary benefits are and how they differ from traditional health insurance?
Yeah, there's holes in them. So there's specific. You have a cancer plan or a heart plan, and you get in an accident, they don't cover that. Or health insurance encompasses at some point everything. So you can pick and choose some of these plans. So if you have young kids, an accident plan makes a lot of sense. So the kids stitches and those things, even though you're meeting your deductible on the other end, you're being paid to pay for it. It's goodbye.
Interesting that you look at these things. Are a lot of times companies aren't HR's not letting them about those things, and you're educating people in some ways, Tom, to say, hey, you got to look at what your expenses are every year for healthcare. The individual does for sure, right? To say, do I need these? Yeah.
You literally, as a business owner, I hear all these excuses why they don't allow them to buy like short-term disability or max or these plans because they're incentivized not to come back to work. And I'm like, it could be a matter of them paying for their mortgage or car because they have no income because they can't work because he broke his ankle and he works in the shop. There's money. It's just, it's quite frankly, it's incompetence. The HR, why these plans aren't put in purely incompetence. I can't. There is no logical reason why you would allow somebody to better themselves other than you're too lazy to pay them down.
How does ClaimLinx simple option solution specifically create opportunities and budgets for supplemental insurance?
We're saving so much money. You show the owner why don't you give each employee a $40 benefit bank or 50 or 20 and let them buy whatever where they want. Don't just buy dental and vision for them. Just say that we'll give you a bank, and if you want to buy that, great. But if you want to buy an accident or cancer or short-term disability, the employers all should be purchasing at the very least long-term disability or can't see long-term disability and group life at the very least. And short-term disability that covers maternity, covers a lot of things. Now, some of the states, such as Massachusetts and some of the other blue states, give in their payroll taxes, they're providing short-term disability for everybody.
That's why contacting ClaimLinx is the way to do it, because there's not a one size fits all with ClaimLinx. And I think that's key for sure. Can you share?
Like Japan, one of the biggest affluents, like that's one of the biggest nations. Everyone buys those plans. Japan.
Could you share a real world example or case study where supplemental insurance significantly benefited employees?
I had a friend actually of mine. I didn't actually sell him the plan, but he had a critical illness plan, and unfortunately, he got colon cancer at 48. He got a $75,000 check that allowed him not to have to work for 6 months. And he was still under treatment.
That's great. And see, that's the supplemental insurance that a lot of people don't go. And then they have to pick and choose. And they're like, I'm not going to pay that extra money because we know expenses are so expensive these days. Some people just can't even afford an extra $40, $50 a month. So when the company gives it to you, they're more likely to say, yes, I'm going to do it.
The problem is the person who's telling them that she feels it's a ripoff. If she's the HR director or office manager, 10 bonbons an hour and smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, wonders what bar they're going to go to that.
Okay. How can companies leverage supplemental insurance options to enhance employee retention and recruitment?
If you're offering a benefit bank, how often the employers do that? Parents do. So you're telling them, hey, not only do we buy the health insurance, we allow you to choose. And we can cover a lot of things.
When you talk about a financial perspective, when it comes to supplemental insurance plans, they do offer additional tax advantages for businesses as well, right?
Paying pre-tax dollars, the companies match and fight against you to Social Security, and they don't have to, since probably send on payroll tax.
Okay. And the best place to go is claimlinx.com right now today. Schedule a call with Tom or his team.
Absolutely.
And I just think that what we learned today that was very interesting, if I'm going to summarize, is ultimately forgetting about supplemental insurance. Individuals that are paying out of the pocket as their own entity see this, and then when they look at Aflac or different other companies and they say, no, thank you. That's extra money. That's not gonna happen to me. Instead of the education that ClaimLinx provides. I'm sure when you're going through this process, you're talking about those supplemental insurance and how that, hey, we don't cover dental or vision. Sorry, adding it as a supplemental seems like it's going to save a lot more money for the company and the business as well, and the in person as well from spending so much money.
Here's the way you got to look at it. I had kids I golf with, asked them, I told them to make sure they get a short-term disability plan or an accident plan or both. And I said to them, I go, okay, something happened to you tonight. You can't work. How long to pay your bills for?
Not long at all because they don't have an emergency fund.
Yep. And as soon as you're Jimmy, the HR, the office manager is preventing them from getting logical plans because they're too lazy.
All right. ClaimLinx.com. Appreciate it, Tom. That was a special simulcast, the Neil Haley Show on the Cutting Edge Benefits Podcast, guys. Take